I am safe. I am enhanced. I am supported. All is well.
Hello and happy day, everyone. I am Erica Kesse, a love force with mysterious wisdom, celebrating life. And we're here again with Try on Thriving. Yes, I am a fractional COO, and I've coined myself the therapeutic COO, and I am spending some time with some CEOs who are thriving. And I'm so excited to have my guest today. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Shauntel Murphy. I am a CEO of Wishing You Well in Life. That is my business where I support executives and corporations. And I also, too, am a leadership speaker. I have over 2 decades in the corporate world, and I have over 15 certifications as a coach. One included a master life coach, master mindfulness coach, and master meditation. So I have a wealth of knowledge here today. Get excited.
Oh, wow, absolutely spectacular. Thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us today. So let's get right into it and talk about something that I asked my CEOs to do is to create a Thrive plan. And so a Thrive plan is a self-awareness assessment reflection. Of how conflicts show up inside of themselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and then what is it that they're doing to take themselves and so they do not go into the trauma response of fight, flight, freeze, flop, or fawn, but instead they cope, they take care of themselves, they do some things that will relieve that conflict, and then how and who supports them in order for them and make sure that they are good and their well-being. So it takes a thriving CEO to have a thriving business and to self-lead and to influence well. So please, can you tell us how was the experience of doing the Thrive Plan?
Taking the Thrive plan, it was something that it was a little bit unexpected just because you have to definitely be vulnerable, you have to be honest, and you have to take the time out to think, well, who is my support system? By me supporting so many other people, sometimes you kind of do tend to forget about yourself a little bit. You overshadow yourself, like, okay, I'm going to be the rock, the hard anchor for everyone, but you have to take a good glimpse into how are you digesting those things, what are you doing in those moments. So it really was about me humanizing myself once again, being honest with myself, and really having those reflective conversations. Everybody is going to have a weakness, and having that weakness is not a problem. It just humanizes you to realize that you are at a point where you need to improve on some things. So it was really refreshing taking that plan and just really analyzing my strengths and some of the things that I have an opportunity to work on.
Oh, I'm so happy that that's your reflection, because that's exactly the goal of it. The goal it's for the person who completes it. It's not for anything else. And I just feel like everybody needs to have a plan to thrive. The way that it occurred is I myself had a conflict. I lost a child in an ectopic pregnancy. And so I lost my will to live. And as a licensed professional counselor, I knew that I needed to safety plan myself. That's something that we do for people who are suicidal or who have lost their will to live. We give them a safety plan. But while I was giving myself a safety plan, I thought, why didn't I have a plan to thrive? Like I should have been given this as a child. Like,
Right.
give me a plan to thrive so I can be preventative, even when something as traumatic and of a death happens. Then I can still find my care for myself. I can still honor myself. I cannot just lay in the bed. Like there is some protocols that I put in place that will allow me to continue to thrive, and that includes having that social support system that you can ring the bell. This is going on. And they actually are taking ownership of your well-being with you, especially during those hard times. So yes, I'm glad that you had this experience with it. It's rough. It's rough to go through. I actually go through it often. I verbally, not verbally, mentally go through it whenever something is just so huge and I find myself slipping into what my trauma response is to fight, or I may even run from the situation. These are my two. So then if I find myself neglecting myself and fighting, which is a CEO, usually CEOs and entrepreneurs I've been interacting with, that's what they do. They just fight through it. But that's neglecting yourself and not caring for yourself. Right. So you have to stop and cope. So tell me, I know you're a certified meditation and mindfulness and all these things. So I know that you know all these different ways to cope. So with other people or with even yourself, what are ways that you would cope? Or tell me more about yourself and how you are benefiting other people with all of your expertise.
Well, definitely, because CEOs, they are at the forefront of organizations, and they're most likely to suffer from burnout at a 70% rate compared to their team. And so with this being said, that's because they're holding meetings back to back. They're reading hundreds of emails and they're implementing new initiatives and programs. And all of this can be very overwhelming. They're in a position where their brain is on overload by 12 p.m. So by the time 5 p.m. comes, they're depleted. And when you're in this mode, you really can't do anything for yourself. So there is no reserve for self-preservation. And then you're continuing to do this on repeat Monday through Friday, sometimes on Sundays, and maybe you still don't have little time to recover that one day on Sunday. So coping skills, they're not just survival tools for leader, they are an essential for thriving under high pressure environments. So you must prioritize self-care and building resilience, and definitely collecting a supportive support system, as you did mention. So leaders, they often neglect their needs because they're focusing on others. So I always talk about them as to develop an emotional regulation. It's important that your emotions are going to run high in leadership. So you have to develop a system to manage your emotions effectively through identifying triggers on what can cause your stress or frustration. Identifying, maybe I can only manage 3 meetings today and not taking the overload of the 5 meetings. Identifying your emotions and placing a proper label on them so that you can say, I am frustrated, I am overwhelmed. And then you can kind of create a space between you and that reaction. Like, I was frustrated, but I'm not frustrated now. That's just the effect of how this meeting had. Yes, I am overwhelmed, but I'm not going to bring that overwhelm into the next meeting. I'm not going to bring that overwhelm with me from the boardroom to the living room. And as you do build this support network, it is a little bit tricky for CEOs and a lot of different leaders, because leadership is an isolating feeling and not too many people know how to support you properly when you are in that role. So I do advise for a lot of different executives for them to get a mentor, a guide, or a coach. These individuals will be able to help you because they're used to guiding other people just like you. You wouldn't be the first person that they've guided, and definitely they can be able to create a roadmap for you where you are able to build yourself, challenge yourself to the next level. Leadership, it is an adventure. It's just like a car ride. You're going to take some detours, you're going to take some stops, but the most important thing is that you have to fill up that car. And as we are on our leadership journey, we always forget to fill up ourselves. So we have to take that moment to fill up ourselves.
Woo! You know what? You excite me because, yes, you are definitely talking about it. That's the experience. And that's one of the reasons why we're here today to just chat a little bit about this. It takes you truly taking the time and energy for your thriving. I always tell CEOs, you do strategic planning or you create a business plan and you have all these categories to this that you do, but you need to have your plan, your thrive plan in there too, on how you're going to thrive and who is going to support you. And your people who are your team members can do that too. That's called truly having authentic leadership, where the people who are working with you understand what's going on with you and can identify it, and then can say, have you went for your walk? Have you had your coffee? Have you sat and had lunch? Because a lot of times they will, like, that's what we don't do. Like, that's that fighting. We're fighting. Now, I have a CEO that I'm working with as a fractional COO, where he put his head in the sand, and I just recognized it, and I had to just call it out. I said, you got to make a decision about this thing instead of just avoiding it.
Right.
And now go to this. You hired me. Let's move and get this thing done, going. And I know you have fear. We all have fears. And it's okay to talk about those, because guess what? As soon as we do, it minimizes it. It allows you to make a movement. And I think that a lot of leaders don't want to show up in those ways. So when you mention identifying the feeling.
Right. Yes. Yes.
That's definitely not something that a lot of people want to put in business too. They want to take emotion out of business for some reason, when emotion and us really talking about how you're feeling, that's data.
Right. Right.
So you can just consider that if you're a person that don't want to do emotions, how about you allow your emotions to be data points for you to know where you should go and how you should move.
Right.
And that's what the Thrive Plan is. It's an operating system. I feel this in my body, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Since I feel this, instead of me going to the deep end and go to my trigger and always to my trauma, take care of yourself. Love yourself, honor yourself, do something for yourself. Stop and eat a Snicker, or whatever you need to do to get yourself back centered, because that's where you're going to make the best decisions as a CEO, because you're affecting everyone.
Right.
I know that. Go ahead, please.
No, and I know that when you do classify how you feel, now you feel justified. It's like you're getting that weight off of your chest. You've identified that emotion. Now that emotion has been identified. You've justified yourself, and now you can move forward. It's all about propelling yourself and pivoting from one stage to the next. And sometimes it's hard and clunky if you really are not able to take a deeper dive and classify how you do feel in that moment. A lot of individuals, people aren't going to ask you, how do you feel right now? Or how are you doing today? And even if they do, we're not going to give them the honest answer. Everybody just says, oh, I'm doing great. Hello, good morning. But when we really do start having those check-ins within ourselves, we're able to be, as I stated before, in that vulnerable place where now we can analyze these feelings. And once you analyze it and put it up, now you can successfully move forward, because you've separated that feeling from yourself, and now you can identify what the next feeling is, and that is moving forward. So that's the thing about thriving, is moving forward no matter what.
No matter what. Yes.
This is it. We only have one plan, and that plan is to succeed. So during that plan, there are going to be moments of challenges and hurdles and rings of fire, but we still have to jump through them, and we will make it. So that's the thing about it. And one of the things that I like to also incorporate is time management. Everything is not urgent. So we have to identify what is urgent versus what is important versus what can wait till later. Once we start to categorize things within those three tiers, those three brackets, now we'll be able to really move through our day successfully. Some people move through the day thinking that everything is urgent. Everything is urgent. Well, that's what's going to give you work fatigue. You're not going to be able to move through your day. You're not going to be able to thrive within your inner core, because you're running on urgent. You have to be able to classify your time so that now it's not you being even busy or productive. Now it's you're being in the moment. You are taking time out to digest and live in the now. So many people are talking about the future, what they plan on doing. So many people are talking about the past, but very few people are talking about this very moment that we exist in right now. And that's the moment where you're really able to thrive.
And that's where you are able to thrive, but that's also where you're living.
Mm-hmm.
You can't live in the past. You can't live in the future. You
Mm-hmm.
can live right now. And so a lot of people are not living. So I
Right.
love that you brought that in, because thriving is
Mm-hmm.
living right now. Like right now, I'm enjoying this conversation
Mm-hmm.
immensely,
Yeah.
and it feels good. And we're supposed to feel good.
Right.
You're not supposed to be stressed out, on fire all the time. Things are happening. No,
Right.
you're supposed to enjoy your life,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's
Right.
supposed to be fun. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much that you said that really hit home regarding these types of like CEOs, really. This,
Mm-hmm.
and so they are, or we are, because you're a CEO, I'm a CEO, influencing many people with just our presence.
Mm-hmm.
Our presence needs to be in the present
Right.
and not in the past or not in the future. In the past, it's usually regrets, fears, things that may come up. Sometimes in the future, it's anxiety, fear that's coming up, right? But if you were right there in the moment enjoying the meeting,
Right. Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
oh, this is so great. I love you bringing in your expertise, because we're very good at what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and every CEO is good at what they do. You're good at what you do. That's not the problem. The problem is you can propel, even like you said, propel and pivot even better, and it will help you to have sustainability.
Right.
I know everybody
Right.
heard that word,
Mm-hmm.
sustainability in
Mm-hmm.
your life, so you don't burn out, so you won't have mental health issues and concerns show up, so that
Mm-hmm.
you actually enjoying your family, your friends,
Mm-hmm.
your vacations, your
Mm-hmm.
existence. You came here for a purpose, and yes, you're operating there, but it doesn't mean that you have to suffer in the meantime.
Exactly. That's correct. Yes. Yep. I love that. Well put.
This has been so amazing. Please tell us, how can we support you? And I'll make sure I get all this in the show notes. So how can we support you and people can reach out to you to work with you?
Yes, definitely by visiting my website, scheduling a discovery call. And within that discovery call, I'm just really here to help people by helping people. So I want to know where you are in your leadership journey. Where are your blind spots? What are your growth spurts? Where are you at? And as I stated before, by me being a master life coach, it's not just about me helping you with your professionalism. It's about me helping you personally, because the more effective you are in your personal journey, that's just going to transition into how you show up as a leader. And so we want to be able to take a deeper dive into both elements and to see where you are. And the goal is to grow you so that you're sustainable for not only 2025, but beyond. Take a deeper look at how you are doing things and your people centric approach, how you are looking at things as far as technology, evolving yourself within your team, community, and your brand. Being a leader, especially a CEO, you're wearing many hats. I know that some individuals have come from executive corporate world where now they are their own entrepreneur. So now you've gone from systems already in place to now putting those systems together yourself. And that is a lot. So definitely, I want to be able to help you so that you're able to analyze how you are looking at things. I want to help you reshape your calendar so you aren't going through work fatigue, which then turns into work burnout. A lot of businesses don't succeed within the first year, not because they didn't have a great business idea or not because they weren't intuitive with the business. They burnt themselves out. They were this close to making it, didn't even know how close they were, and then they just gave up. They didn't have a good support system. They didn't have the right policies and initiatives in place. So I want to be able to help all of my entrepreneur clients succeed within that, because I too know what that journey is definitely like. So I want to be there to create peace, to be there to lead you along this mission. Even if we don't align together as clients, that's okay. But the goal is to give you nuggets so that you can get to where you want to go to. I'm able to empower people in real time and be that guiding light, whether you partner with me or not. And one of my gems that I will be coming out with is I will have a book that will be hitting Amazon in the next couple of weeks. So definitely follow up, stay tuned with that. And there will be more, because wishing you well is a gift to the economy, because I sincerely wish the economy well, and we do need to be able to thrive. And a lot of people just don't have a clue of, they know what the word is, but they don't know how to incorporate that in their daily lives and their being. Because if a leader is not thriving, then you cannot have a productive team that's thriving as well. The team is only going to be synergetic to what the leader is holding to them. So it's like a mirror. So if you are almost in a dead shell, then you're going to be leading a dead team. If you're a vibrant leader, then you will be leading that vibrancy to your team. So it is very reflective. So you really have to think about how you leave the house and how you do show up. How you show up is how your team delivers.
She said it. She said it.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all better reach out to this woman, okay? Okay. Listen, like she said, you may not be a good fit, but it's gonna take you to the next step that you need to go,
Right.
and on your journey. And I love that you said that, because a lot of people thinking that you go into these situations and it's an expectation, but no, we know we're gods. We're gods. Either you're
Right.
fit or not.
Right.
Let me tell you, the whole reason why I interact with CEOs through this way is that you have to drink the Kool-Aid of the Thrive Plan before I even want to talk to you. Period.
Right.
Like
Right.
I really have to keep my peace, and I want to interact with people like you.
Right.
I want to
Right.
interact with the person that I just had an interview with, because I don't want to interact with I don't want to do it with anybody else. You're a fit or you're not.
Right.
And I just loved interacting with you. Thank you so much for coming and doing this Try on Thriving, you all. And we will see you all next time. You all create a thriving rest of your day. Bye.
I